Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and in this video I want to cover two things. One, why you should bounty prep and the reasons why people do it. And then two, just a few tips about it and also just to kind of take the stress out of it. It is not that big of a deal. First thing is why? Why would you're like, why the hell would you go through the process of doing a bunch of little bounties and saving them in a season that it doesn't matter? Well, a couple reasons. One, are you going to be doing the new raid? My advice is, if you're trying to do the new raid and trying to go for contest difficulty, it is advantageous for you to have these bounties saved up because it's one less thing you got to worry about. And what it will do, whether you're trying to go for world first or you just want your contest emblem, a lot of the things it will do is the power bonus isn't going to make much of a difference. Like your plus 21 bonus power that I've got from my artifact this season, which is all just from experience, doesn't really do much because contest locks you out. As soon as a contest is done, and if you want to beat the raid, the higher bonus power you have will make a little bit of a difference there. But the big one is your artifacts. Coolest mods are always out here, and it takes a little while to get there. Now, we do have 10 days to get there, so bounty prepping is probably going to be less of a deal. But if you don't have a whole lot going on right now over the course of the next 8 days when I'm recording this, you've got 8 days where you could do some pretty casual bounty prep, get a little bit of a jump on, some bonus work for next season, and it just gives you a head start. That's mostly what it is. But the big thing is these are the artifacts that can be game changers. Lightning strikes twice, supernova, shock and awe, whatever it may be that pairs up together, you got to theory craft what the artifact can do. Then you got to be able to actually get the mods and then test it out with whatever you want to use for a build and exotics and all those things. It takes a little bit. If you can get a jump start on that process to be able to take a better build into the raid, whatever it's going to be, we don't know, but there's speculation, then you just have a head start. So if you're serious about it, that's one of the main reasons. Second one is a content creator. And as a content creator, and I say this with like the caveat of some people just want to get a head start and do it anyway, but as a content creator, you're going to get a new exotic. We all do. We get one at the start of the season from the season pass, which I don't love how they just hand out an exotic. Some of them have been cool, some have been less cool, but again, you got some good ones in here. But you tend to get a catalyst with it as well. At rank 11, you're going to get your double objective progress for that thing that always takes forever. And then you're going to get the quadruple progress. The faster that you can get to this step right here is going to really, really expedite the process of if you're just running a crucible match, if you're running a strike, if you're doing whatever it may be that is going to count towards that progress, and then you're able to actually do 50 instead of 200 of those things, it's going to make a difference. And the sooner you get to this level, the sooner those changes are actually going to go into effect. So if you bounty prep 0 and you start here and you're running some random strikes as you level up and do other things, and you're like, okay, so then you finally get here and get progress. Whatever those strikes were, you could have run like 5 strikes, couple crucible matches, couple gambit matches, whatever it was. Maybe you run 10 things. Until you get here, like even if you get here, those count for 2. So maybe you run 10 and they count for 20. But now if you were here and you jump started pretty close to this one, you could be at 40. And so your progress on your exotic quest is just going to be that much faster to get the catalyst and really unlock the full potential of the weapon. Now, when it comes to bounty prepping, you can bounty prep to about here, about 20, 21. If you are ultra insane efficient, you might get 22, maybe. I'm probably sitting around 19 right now because I didn't go crazy efficient. And this is part of the thing I want to tell you guys. Yes, you will unlock your XP boosts, which are nice. So you get XP boosts. So you get your XP faster, which is, again, going to help you. So here's your fire team boost. Here's your XP boost. Here's your XP boost. I'm going to at least be here. So I know I'm going to have the big one here up front. Then I'm going to have another one and another one and another one. So I'm just gaining more XP the entire time, which is a big benefit for me because the more you play, the more you get that XP early. So turning your bounties early is going to help you. But what I'm saying here, like the stress level of getting from like 16 to 20, try not to freak out about that one. It is not that big of a deal. Even if you start bounty prepping now, you can do quite a bit. You'll notice I don't have 1 strike, 1 gambit, 1 crucible bounty in here. And I'm at 61 of 63. I've got a few of these that I'll have to delete out. And there's a couple weekly ones I'm going to pick up tomorrow, which is the final week. But outside of that, you can do a whole lot in 1 week just without even worrying about all the stress. Now, if you're going to go crazy efficiency, yes, there are clan bounties that you got to do. If you're going to do everything, there's a weekly in that Xur is going to have. There's a weekly that Neptune is going to have. There are 3 different weeklies at Europa. Even if you start in the final week, you'll still have one of them. There are 6 different weeklies at the Dreaming City. Even if you start in the last week, you'll have 1. So you would have, even if you just start in the final week, you would have missed 5, 6, 7, and then clan bounties. Say you don't do those. You have 11. It is a whopping 11 bounties. And the difference between a weekly bounty of XP++ is 12,000 versus a daily bounty is 6. So if I say 11 bounties times 6, that is 66,000 experience. That is half of a level. But if you have, and then again, if you do that over the course of 3 characters, yeah, that does add up to be probably 1.5 levels. Sure. But if you're just like going through and doing some of the low stress stuff, like, oh no, you don't want to do blind well, don't worry about it. Ascendant challenges aren't too bad. Knock one of those out while you're killing some Taken or whatever it may be. Cool. If you go on the moon and use an auto rifle for kills and a submachine gun for kills, and you're on the Cosmodrome and you kill like 3 people with a super and you punch some people, there are some very, very easy bounties. And then there are some, if you go like to the Throne World and you need to do patrols. Patrols take a little while in and amongst themselves. So then you got to do a patrol, figure out what the objective is. Maybe it's specific, maybe it's precision kills, maybe you got to go find some guy in a random place you got to kill. Or you can have a daily bounty where it's just like defeat combatants in lost sectors. Go jump into a lost sector and shoot stuff. And while you're doing that, use a bow or a fusion rifle or a grenade launcher or whatever, and then use some abilities. If the abilities ones, sometimes the abilities ones take a little while, I'll be honest. And if those aren't worth skipping, just, use arc abilities. Try and be efficient while you do it, but if something just feels like, hey, I got 3 bounties knocked out and this is at like 10%, move on. Skip it, come back, try another day. You have 8 days to come check and see what are the easy ones. Loot chest on Nessus. Like, you can notice I have like Nessus, I have 7. EDZ, I've got 7. Those are so easy to do. Pick the easy ones. Don't stress if there's a weekly one where you're like, hey, I could do moon bounties, and then I can also complete 3 lost sectors, but I don't want to sit in Sorrow's Harbor and do Altars of Sorrow. I will tell you, if you have like an episode of Netflix or a YouTube video you want to watch, literally just go park your butt in Sorrow's Harbor, find a cave kind of like in this region, like not by the lost sector, but if you go kind of the top area where there's this like bounty guy, there's a cave in there. I literally just parked my body in there, made sure I didn't go AFK and got kicked to orbit, and the bounty just auto-completed. Because if you are in the zone, you get progress for that bounty. So if you want a low-stress one, just go park it. If people are working on it, cool. Just don't get yourself logged out from AFK. But like, some of this stuff is so easy, and I don't have a whole lot going on right now. I'm waiting to see if I get like code for another game. I'm trying not to start Baldur's Gate right now. If you're playing that, I understand that's like time-consuming as I'll get out. Excuse me. But that's why. Why is the main reason of, if you want to do the raid, a jump start on everything, whether it be your bonus experience that you're getting, progress on the, what if the exotic next season is just a beast, and then you can get the catalyst even sooner and possibly take that thing in the raid, that might help. Unlocking the artifact mods, those could be game changers depending on builds and stuff like that. Those are all going to help you get a jump start on the season. If you want to start going farming lost sectors next season, maybe the new exotics are there and you want to jump in day 1 and you want a little extra bonus power maybe to help. Those are all the little things that if you want to do that, it's going to help you with. And then how you do it, pick the ones that are easy. I mean, if you want to go through and do you want to do the weekly here, you want to do the weekly here, you want to do the weekly here, weeklies at the Cosmodrome, weeklies on the moon. You can do a lot in 1 week. Even if you could start 6 weeks ago if you're crazy. But if you are not in a clan and you start in the final week, you can still save yourself like 16 levels of XP. And 16 levels of XP, if you start working and spread it out over the course of the next 8 days, not too bad. Nice thing to carry into the next season. So this is just kind of the reason of what you can do and why. Don't overstress on the weeklies. If you miss them, not a big deal. If a bounty is annoying, skip it. There are enough dailies that if you log in on a character on a couple different days and you have some time to kill, pick the easy ones that are time efficient, knock them out, and then move on. Do not overstress and don't spend too long on any one bounty, especially if yours constrained for time. Do the easiest ones and then go from there. So I hope this video helped you guys out. My goal is just to say this is why I bounty prep, but also to kind of take the stress out of, you got a week, do what you can, save a few, and then, get a little jump start on next season, and you can jump into the fun a little bit sooner. It's up to you. But if you're jumping in the raid, I advise it. If you want to experiment with like the new exotic or the artifact mods, it's going to help. And other than that, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like below. Leave a comment if you have anything about it I missed or whatever. I am looking forward to the showcase. So if you guys are looking to check out the showcase. I will be streaming that live on Twitch, and then I will be playing for a good chunk of that first day as well. We've got opening night live for Gamescom. Black Myth Wukong is going to be shown there, amongst other things. I'm really excited about that game when it comes. So lots of stuff going on the 22nd, and I am working on playing some other games, so you might find me playing like Dave the Diver over on Twitch. Come hang out, and if you are new to the channel and you enjoy the content, you find it beneficial, you know my guides are good, you just want to come back later, hit the subscribe button, hit the alert bell, make sure my videos make it to you. YouTube is a whole thing, so thank you guys for all the support. And if you want to support me as directly as possible, you can get a YouTube membership or find me on Patreon. Links are all below. Have a good one, everybody, and hopefully I'll see you soon.